Disney's upcoming live-action adaptation of Snow White has become one of the most talked-about projects in Hollywood, igniting a whirlwind of excitement, controversy, and speculation that refuses to die down. From the moment Rachel Zegler was announced as the new face of the beloved princess, the internet exploded with opinions. Reactions were swift, passionate, and divided, creating an ongoing dialogue that only intensifies as new details about the film emerge. Unlike the simple fairy tale beginnings of its animated predecessor, this modern retelling arrives shrouded in debates, reimaginations, and a powerful attempt at reinvention. With Disney at the helm of yet another ambitious live-action venture, the world waits in eager anticipation to see whether this bold retelling will be embraced or rejected. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs holds an untouchable place in Disney's history. As the very first feature-length animated film, it changed the entertainment industry forever, proving that animation could captivate audiences on the same level as live-action films. Released in 1937, this cinematic masterpiece paved the way for the Disney empire that followed, enchanting generations with its fairy tale magic, unforgettable melodies, and heartwarming story. Adapted from the Brothers Grimm classic, the film was a testament to the triumph of good over evil, wrapped in romance, adventure, and the timeless charm of Disney's golden age. But times change, and so does the storytelling landscape. This new Snow White promises to reimagine the iconic tale in a way that reflects modern sensibilities, challenging the traditional notions of princesses and their roles in fairy tales. And with that promise has come a flood of reactions, both good and bad. At the heart of the discussion is Rachel Zegler, a rising star whose performance in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story catapulted her to fame. The moment she was cast as Snow White, conversations ignited about whether she was the right fit for the role. Some Disney purists were quick to express their discontent, arguing that her Polish and Colombian heritage did not align with the traditional image of Snow White as depicted in the original fairy tale. Others welcomed the casting as a step toward greater representation, celebrating Disney's commitment to diversity and inclusion. The casting debate, however, was just the beginning. Zegler's outspoken nature and candid interviews have only added fuel to the fire. She has made it clear that this Snow White is not the passive, love-struck princess of the past, waiting for a prince to rescue her. Instead, this version of the character is independent, ambitious, and strong-willed, determined to carve her own path. While some audiences applaud the modernized approach, others view it as a betrayal of the story's heart and soul. One of Zegler's most controversial remarks referring to the original prince as a stalker sent shockwaves through Disney fandom, drawing both support and criticism. Fans who cherish the romance of the classic animated film argue that stripping away the love story removes an essential element of the tale, while others believe that evolving beyond outdated tropes is necessary for the film's success in today's world. Regardless of the divided opinions, Disney remains steadfast in its commitment to delivering a fresh take on the story. Behind the camera, an impressive lineup of talent has been assembled to bring this vision to life. Acclaimed director Mark Webb, best known for the Amazing Spider-Man films, leads the project, promising a visually stunning experience. Meanwhile, the screenplay is shaped by none other than Greta Gerwig, whose work on Barbie has already proven her ability to balance nostalgia with reinvention. With such powerhouse creatives steering the ship, audiences can expect a Snow White that is bold, daring, and unlike anything Disney has done before. But will this boldness pay off, or will it alienate audiences who hold the original near and dear? Adding even more star power to the cast, Gal Gadot steps into the shoes of the evil queen, bringing an electrifying presence to one of Disney's most iconic villains. Known for her portrayal of Wonder Woman, Gadot has already demonstrated her ability to command the screen, and her transformation into the sinister stepmother has generated immense buzz. Early glimpses of her performance suggest a chilling, mesmerizing take on the character, with layers of complexity that explore the Queen's motivations in a way never before seen. Godot herself has expressed excitement about the role, hinting that audiences will get to see the evil queen in a new light, one that delves deep into her psychology and descent into villainy. But if there's one aspect of the adaptation that has sparked near universal curiosity and controversy, it's the treatment of the seven dwarfs. Early reports hinted at a drastic reimagining of these beloved characters, with speculation running wild that they might be replaced altogether. The news set off a firestorm among fans who consider the dwarfs an essential part of Snow White's journey. Some rumors suggested that Disney would move away from the traditional portrayal of the characters in favor of a more modern, diverse interpretation. Others speculated that the film would abandon the concept entirely, replacing the dwarfs with magical creatures or other companions. So far, Disney has remained largely tight-lipped about the specifics, leaving audiences to wonder how this fundamental element of the story will be handled. Music has always been the heartbeat of Disney's animated classics, and the live-action Snow White will be no exception. The film's soundtrack is in the hands of Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, the award-winning duo behind La La Land and The Greatest Showman. Their reputation for crafting emotionally charged, memorable melodies has set expectations sky high, with fans eager to hear how the new compositions will blend with the timeless classics of the original. Songs like Hey Ho and Someday My Prince Will Come remain deeply embedded in the collective memory of Disney lovers, and the question of whether the new music will live up to these cherished tunes lingers heavily in the air. As the film inches closer to its release date on March 21, 2025, the conversation surrounding it only grows louder. The press tour has done little to quell the ongoing discourse, with Zegler's comments continuing to make waves. Some admire her outspokenness and her willingness to challenge tradition, while others feel that her remarks have been dismissive of the original's legacy. Disney, for its part, has stood firmly by her, reiterating that the film is about offering a new perspective rather than erasing the past. But nostalgia is a powerful force, and in an era where audiences crave the comfort of familiar stories, the biggest question remains: will this reimagining resonate with viewers, or will it face the same backlash that has plagued other live-action adaptations? No matter what happens, one thing is certain: Snow White has already cemented its place as one of the most polarizing and intriguing films of Disney's modern era. Whether it becomes a groundbreaking success or a divisive misstep, the buzz surrounding it ensures that it will not be forgotten. This is not just another live-action remake, it is a redefinition, a challenge to long-held traditions, and a testament to Disney's evolving vision. As the countdown to its premiere continues, all eyes remain fixed on the enchanted mirror, waiting to see if this new Snow White will be the fairest of them all or if it will shatter expectations in an entirely different way. Love it or hate it, this is a Snow White like no other. Rachel Zegler's meteoric rise to fame has been a whirlwind of triumphs and turmoil. From the moment she graced the screen in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, she became a name to watch. Her voice, her presence, her undeniable talent, it all pointed to a dazzling future. But when she stepped into the glass slippers of Snow White in Disney's upcoming live-action remake, the fairytale took a sharp turn into controversy. From the moment her casting was announced, the internet buzzed with divided opinions. Some celebrated the fresh, modern take on the beloved princess, while others were outraged, arguing that she lacked the right essence for such an iconic role. The controversy reached its peak when Zegler, in a now infamous interview, referred to the classic prince as a stalker. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Fans of the original 1937 animated classic were furious, calling it an unnecessary attack on a story that had stood the test of time. Others, however, championed her modern interpretation, praising her for bringing a new, feminist perspective to the tale. Adding fuel to the fire, Andrew Burnap, originally cast as the prince, found himself at the center of a drastic rewrite. Reports surfaced that his role was being significantly altered, with the storyline being reshaped to fit contemporary values. While some welcomed this evolution of the narrative, many felt it was a forced rewrite of history. The tension only escalated, with passionate debates across social media platforms. Was this progress, or was it an overcorrection? Zegler's confidence has always been her defining trait, a boldness that has both propelled her forward and drawn sharp criticism. She never hesitates to speak her mind, whether it's on social justice, film roles, or her critics. But this very outspokenness has made her a polarizing figure. She's fiercely defended her vision for Snow White, refusing to back down despite the wave of backlash. To some, she's an inspiration, an artist unwilling to conform. To others, she's simply fueling the fire, exacerbating tensions rather than easing them. One of the biggest criticisms leveled at Zegler was her admission that she had only watched the original Snow White once as a child and that it frightened her. Fans were stunned. How, they argued, could someone who had little connection to the original film truly embody the role? Social media erupted with scathing critiques. One viral tweet summed up the outrage: "If you don't love Snow White, why are you playing her?" But the drama didn't stop there. Some critics dug into her past, pointing to her involvement in previous online debates, particularly her call-outs of other celebrities. One of the most notable was her vocal stance against Gina Carano, which had earned her both praise and criticism. Now, as Zegler faces backlash of her own, Carano has subtly weighed in, hinting at a sense of karmic retribution. This only added fuel to the ongoing discourse, with divided opinions raging across fan communities. Meanwhile, Disney's Snow White remake has become one of the most dissected films on social media, particularly on TikTok, where every interview clip and leaked detail is scrutinized. Fans and critics alike question whether the film's changes are a genuine attempt to modernize the story or merely a marketing ploy to generate controversy. The discussions have grown so heated that rumors are swirling about Disney possibly considering parting ways with Zegler altogether. While neither Disney nor Zegler has addressed these speculations, the uncertainty looms over the project like a storm cloud. One of the most intriguing elements of this entire saga is the silence of Gal Gadot, who portrays the evil queen in the film. Unlike Zegler, Gadot has chosen to steer clear of the drama, refraining from commenting on the controversy. This calculated silence has only fueled speculation. Is she distancing herself from the backlash? Does she disagree with Zegler's outspoken nature, or is she simply waiting for the film to speak for itself? Whatever the case, her lack of engagement has only made her presence in the film all the more intriguing. As the release date inches closer, the stakes continue to rise. Will audiences embrace this new Snow White, or will they reject it outright? Will Zegler's portrayal redefine the character for a new generation, or will it become one of Hollywood's most notorious missteps? The pressure is immense, and the outcome remains uncertain. Despite the relentless criticism, Zegler is pushing forward. She has shifted her focus away from online debates and back onto the film itself, sharing nostalgic childhood photos of herself dressed as Disney princesses, including Snow White. It's a subtle but clear attempt to remind audiences of her love for the character. Some fans appreciate the effort, while others remain skeptical, seeing it as a strategic move to repair her image. The road ahead for Snow White is anything but predictable. This is no longer just another Disney remake, it has evolved into a cultural battleground. Conversations about tradition versus progress, the responsibilities of actors, and the expectations of modern audiences are all colliding in real time. Regardless of how the film ultimately performs, it will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most debated and scrutinized adaptations in Disney history. And Rachel Zegler, she stands at the eye of the storm, unwavering, determined, and ready to face whatever comes next. But beyond the spectacle, this moment signifies something much bigger. The collision of nostalgia and modern values, the evolution of Hollywood storytelling, and the shifting landscape of audience expectations are all at play. The entertainment industry is at a crossroads, where the desire to preserve the magic of beloved classics must now contend with demands for fresh perspectives and inclusivity. Zegler's journey is one of reinvention. She is more than just a young actress thrust into the spotlight, she is a symbol of a larger conversation about who gets to define these timeless tales. In an era where audiences wield more power than ever, studios must strike a delicate balance between honoring tradition and forging new paths. Snow White is more than just a film, it's a battleground for ideals, storytelling philosophies, and the ever-growing divide between purists and progressives. Yet, as the discourse rages on, one thing remains certain, all eyes are on Rachel Zegler. Will she rise above the storm and redefine her career, or will this controversy cast a shadow over her future in Hollywood? No matter the outcome, her name is now cemented in the history of film discourse. The echoes of this debate will ripple far beyond the release of Snow White, shaping how audiences and studios approach beloved classics for years to come. The stage is set, the audience is watching, and the final act is yet to unfold. In the ever-spinning wheel of Hollywood, where narratives are rewritten, reputations are tested, and icons are made or broken, Rachel Zegler's next move could define her legacy. And as the world waits for the film to hit the screens, one question lingers: will this Snow White be a dream come true or a cautionary tale?